crypto as a whole, specifically Kaspa, is actually starting to gain ground in use case. This battle is actually taking place overseas. You would think it'd be in the United States, but it's not, because of a factor known as network strength. The classic example of this is gas-powered cars versus electric. How can the electric cars even compete when there's gas stations and auto mechanics everywhere? Amplifying the network strength of your classical automobile. And of course, this hardware network strength model plays directly into crypto, specifically Kaspa, which is really competing with banks and ATM credit card machinery with their mobile payment systems. But this is the catch. As soon as you get overseas, if you want to buy anything, you've got to have a mobile payment wallet. In El Salvador, they just recently switched over to Bitcoin. Since they made this transfer, the country has been more prosperous from ever. Check out this clip from the El Salvador president. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video, where we have new GameFi 100x crypto picks that haven't even been listed on the exchanges yet.
So basically, you finance the government by printing money out of thin air. Bitcoin. Someone could ask, well, so if the government can print unlimited amounts of money out of thin air, why do they collect taxes? I mean, in theory, it would make sense, right? If they can print unlimited amounts of money, why would they need taxes for? The answer is simple, but it's very shocking. The real problem is that you pay high taxes only to uphold the illusion that you are funding the government, which you are not.
The reason why we bring up El Salvador is because we found an IMF document that's talking about specifically the Sahara region of Africa, their mobile payment apps, and specifically transferring these mobile payment things into cryptocurrency. One of the major setbacks in Africa for these mobile payment systems is the fees are absurdly high, the highest in the world. People are paying 8% every time they transfer money around. Culturally, the young men and women who are educated and can work will go into the city, leave their family behind in a country rural area, and then send money back home to their native village using these mobile payment systems. Sounds kind of far out. Well, in China, you actually have to have a mobile payment system. It's called WeChat. It's a combination of Twitter and a digital payment wallet, and you need it if you want to hail a cab, get a hotel room, get groceries, or take your friends out to grocery. Actually, inside our Patreon group, we just give a heads up for a new combination of Twitter and a crypto wallet called Biable, released in an IDO, which means that you can buy it kind of like a seed funding round before it's even available on exchanges. And right now in the crypto market, everything is like at least 7, 10, 15x off the all-time lows. The only way that we're going to hit another 100xer is if we pick it up in a seed funding type round before it's even listed on the exchange. And that's what we've got at the end of this video with some of our GameFi picks. Bilk is actually a company in Poland doing just straight up mobile wallet payments, nothing to do with crypto specifically. And they've recently emerged to a multi-billion-dollar market cap valuation in just a few years, which is showing how wide open for the taking the network strength when you get into Eastern Europe and parts of Africa is. Kaspa's marketing team realizes this. That's why they're spending so much money on the ambassador programs. Of course, Africa is so rich in natural resources, you get kind of this boomtown effect. They might find gold or oil in some region and then erect a total town around it. In this scenario where that lumber yard could pay the workers out in Kaspa, and then all the local entrepreneurs around are accepting Kaspa here, that lumber yard might actually be sending all of its resources over to China. This is how Kaspa's getting their foot in the door. What Facebook did with all their Ivy League schools compared to MySpace. Yeah, MySpace already had a huge network, but Facebook was able to topple them by getting their foot in the door. And that's what Kaspa's doing in Africa right now. That's why Africa is holding all the keys. Talking about these new GameFi picks, if you're looking at GFAL, even Myria, or Heroes of Mavia, These things have already came off 15x off the base. It's kind of far-fetched to believe that we're going to get 100x from here. Let's use Heroes of Mavia for example. On the first day on exchanges, you could have bought it for $2.50. Today it's at like $7.50. That's a pretty good 3x. But if you got it on the IDO, if you were tuned into the market very sincerely, you would have been able to buy Heroes of Mavia for 40 cents. So this is what I went out and did. There are a total of 80 IDO launch pads where you can buy just all kinds of new cryptos before they're listed on the exchanges. I combed through all 80 of these, looked for their future listings that had anything to do with GameFi. I found there's actually 32 picks coming up. Out of those, most of them are actually first-person shooters, which I thought was very strange. We separated 8 or 9 out into a separate list. Both of these lists are actually available inside the Patreon. Like you're a hunter going out into the woods around Alaska, you're probably going to get in contact with a local who's already got the area staked out, so you're not wandering around in the woods. Just putting these lists together alone with all the clicking took a full 8 hours. So we're saving you massive time here in the scenario that you're already an advanced investor. You're just paying me to do your secretarial work. Already get the origin trend lines, which is a totally new form of technical analysis based on the halving and emission schedules. There's these ripples going through the charts and they just keep repeating trend lines over and over again. Even with Kaspa right now, this trend line that we're on, this is the exact same clone of the falling wedge and the handle of the cup and off the April symmetrical triangle. We've got that in combination with your classical technical analysis, cup and handle, ascending triangle, falling wedge, all the stats for that. It all comes out in an Excel spreadsheet, and you can put it with your 24-point checklist on how to vet any cryptocurrency. One of these 24 points is network strength, and we go into more details on that on the correlating video. Another strong information source we have in this 24-point checklist is a list of 30 of the best VC firms like Polychain Capital, Olson Carlson. This guy's got the Midas touch so bad they started naming meme coins after him with Carlson coin. When we called out TIA at $5, everybody in the comments was like, no way, it's a pump and dump. Because we went through the 24-point checklist and because Olson Carlson was involved, we were able to make this call out and it shot up to $20. We also called out Zetrix because they're actually hooked up with the Chinese government, Chinese communist government. Went from $5 to almost $15 in the past 90, 100 days or so, and nobody called out Zetrix. We're looking for super gems inside the Patreon. We're not picking them out and handing to you in the middle of their breakout. We're showing you the list where they're going to emerge from. You guys have the skills to take it from there. Just like a hunter getting a guide, we're going to point out where the herds of deer are, and then you're going to track them down and make the shot. Here's a trailer from one of the really fun-looking games. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.